There's her ladyship. Okay folks, good afternoon. It's Monday afternoon. After what wasn't a great week last week, when all's said and done. I haven't as yet filmed the weekly programme. That was the week that was. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I might do something quick and simple tonight. I don't know. But today, too warm. Tried staying in and around the tent, but it's just one of those days with not a lot of air moving down there, and I thought coming to the park and getting in the shade was the better part of Valor. It's just before 12:30, and as you can see, well, it's Spain, isn't it? It's a sunny day. Up here in the park, in the shade, there's actually a nice breeze as well, which is good. Just before we set off, I just soaked my t-shirt entirely, put a wet t-shirt on and walked up here. There's Tina, she thinks she's a cow, she's eating the grass. Hey, Ermintrude. No, she'll probably be sick later. Or, like the other day, it'll struggle to come out at the other end and I'll have to manually pull it out for her. All the nice things that you do as a doggy owner. A doggy daddy. Okay folks, I don't think there'll be much to say today. I was listening to a YouTube video earlier. A guy, is it Legal Logic? Oh, he's turned the word logic and he's got law in there. And he's doing a 24-hour stream. So that's probably going to be my entertainment for the day. Even though I don't really have the gigabytes, I'm way over. I've got less than 1 gigabyte per day left from now until when they renew. I think that's 2 weeks today. I think I've got 11 or 12 gigabytes left for 14 days. I don't know. I told you I got I felt ripped off by Labara. I don't know if I actually was. Like I said, I didn't see any actual terms and conditions. I just read a similar scheme in Australia from the same company and figured that without information in Spain, it was a fair guess that there would be a similar deal. Turned out not to be the case. Whether you call that getting ripped off or not, oh, I'm not sure. I felt ripped off. Still do. Not sure I can afford €15 a month every month for YouTube. I thought if I could alternate between the €10 package and the €15 package, alternate months, I could possibly just about manage that for a couple of months. Not sure. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit down, a little bit depressed at the minute. Depressed might be too strong a word. Last week, let's face it, was a shit week. I had the heart of it ripped out of it. When the week started, Monday was okay, stayed in the camp. Tuesday was really hot, so I was in the middle of getting ready to go out. I'd packed the rucksack. Oh, well, I was in the middle of packing the rucksack. I got a spray bottle here. I'll show you. I got a spray bottle that I use to keep Tina cool, and myself at times, in honesty. I'd got the top off that, and I was in the middle of filling that when the Guardia Civil pulled up. And as you know, they took my Tuesday and Wednesday away from me. Thursday I was raging. I was mad after I found my belongings thrown in the grass at the side of the road. And that was the heart of the week gone, really, wasn't it? That. Yeah. So then we just coasted into the weekend, and weekends come and weekends go, don't they, so quickly. One minute you're kind of breathing a relief that it's Friday night. It's funny because with my lifestyle at the minute, it's not like I've got any fixed routine. It's not like I've got to get up and go to work. There's kind of a daily battle for survival. Daily battle to stay cool at the minute. To keep myself and the dog fed. Which, in fairness, kind of isn't an issue too much at the minute. You guys have, and my neighbours, you know, some of you guys out there have helped, and neighbours have helped. Some things are running low again. But that's not been a major worry. But, come on. So that's, I don't have much. It's not like I've got a daily grind of getting up and going to work. There's no fixed routine. So I don't know why the weekend is such a relief. Is that habit? There's just a notable sense of, oh, thank goodness it's Friday. Especially as you get to late afternoon, early evening. I don't know. But I do. I enjoy Friday nights. I enjoy my weekend. But they come and go so quickly. And I feel that Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening kind of regret that the weekend's passing and that the week's about to start. Which, like I said, I don't know, because my Monday, Tuesday isn't that different from my Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Strange. I don't know if it's just a lifetime of programming. I don't know. But here we are, the weekend came, the weekend went. I didn't feel in the mood for making the weekly summary programme. I'll probably knock something together tonight. I don't really remember. I'm not sure there's much to tell, except for the Tuesday and Wednesday. And maybe, I guess the Thursday where I was raging at finding my belongings at the side of the road. I got a few things to tell about the actual Guardia Civil and their behaviour. I don't know if that's sensible to do out in the open. They're definitely a law to themselves. Yeah, here we go again. It's a new week. Hopefully things can be a little bit better. I went for a walk yesterday. Took the dog for a Sunday morning dog walk, but didn't film anything. Mainly because I didn't feel like it, and partly because it was just over the same ground we've covered before. So another video of walking to Los Locos probably wouldn't be that interesting for anybody. So there we go. The weekend came, the weekend went. It's a new week. Hopefully it can be a better week. But I've got to be thinking about the threat that the authorities now pose. The fact that I've been told to move on 3 times now. I kind of find it disturbing that they never elucidate a specific law. There's never any paperwork. There's nothing that I could like take to a lawyer and say, here, check this out. Is this true? Am I really not allowed to be in this land? Because they keep telling me I can't be there, but they're not doing anything about it. It's just threats and bullying. I would have expected they would say, hey, it's against section 5 of this code of this act of, you know, and here's some paperwork. And then maybe they would say, hey, and if you want to appeal, here's a process and take this to a lawyer. But there's none of that. They just turn up, kind of saber rattle, tell you to move on. And then, yeah, I got arrested because of an outstanding warrant I didn't know anything about, a court date that I'd never been served with. So that's by the by. But then you'd think, okay, well then they'd carry on with the process of getting me off the land. But nothing. I'm just glad it, like I said last week, I'm glad it didn't happen on a Friday. Because rather than being in the cells 24 hours waiting for the administrative things to happen, I would have been in the cells for 72 hours. Just as a matter of course, there's no ifs or buts. If you're arrested on a Friday morning, you're there until Monday dinner time. which is probably just over the 72 hours, is it? Depending on what time on the Friday morning. They probably skirt that line because they ignore the rules. Imagine if you got arrested at, say, 10 o'clock on a Friday morning, and the court, you leave the Guardia Civil at 10, so that's your 72 hours, and then you're taken to the court and you're in the cells there for another 2 or 3 hours, waiting to be taken through and dealt with. At what point does your 72 hours expire? And what happens? I bet they don't open the cells and say, right, now you can go. I don't know. I'm twittering, I'm rambling. I guess I'm just trying to walk through all the options and possibilities. I have to find a new campsite as a fallback in case. I'm not willing and I'm not ready to move from where I am. I'm not going to go kind of voluntarily. I enjoy the site I'm at on the whole. I'm a little bit exposed to the sun this time of year, but in winter that would be a good thing. That would keep me warm at night, the trapped heat from the day. But I need a backup. I need to be ready. Now I've got the trolley from Harry and Jill, so in theory moving some of my heavier things is now a possibility. Things like the bag, when the tent's folded up and it's in a bag, and I've got 2 large bags of possessions. One I had originally, and one I should do a video one day of this bag that I found in a bin one day. I went to lift the bag out and check the bag, big holdall, like a big sports holdall, big sports bag, and it was packed with gear, like it was owned by a chef. There's a couple of plates and bowls and a whole set of knives, and there was a corkscrew and just everything. And then there's this huge rug. Well, it's a blanket, I think, huge blanket, but it's a really heavy thing. It was a really good find. I don't really understand the mentality of whoever threw it out. There's nothing wrong with the bag. The bag was in perfect condition. The contents were all perfect. It looks like they were storing it for somebody else who just never came back for it, maybe. So they just threw the whole bag in the bin. But anyway, I've got, like I said, I've got a big holdall of my own with my original belongings. I've got that, the bag that the tent folds down into. Then you've got all the food and some of the other things that I've got, jars and jars of food. I would have to take some water with me to set up initially, I imagine. So moving wherever I identify, wherever I find, it's possible. Don't want to though. And of course, how do you know when you pick a new spot that you're not going to have the Policia Local and the Guardia Civil landing on you and telling you that that's not an acceptable place? It's not like you can ask them beforehand and say, hey, I'm going to move there, is that acceptable? I'm going to get hassled wherever I go, I expect. The cicadas have kicked in. I think I'll end it there. Delta Mike, out.